Welcome back, guys, to the Narrow Mic Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Cates, and man, I'm so happy to be back with you guys in episode 3, Psalm chapter 3. If you didn't catch episode 1 and 2 on Psalm chapter 1 and 2, obviously, go back and listen to those episodes. Man, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Any criticisms, any questions, anything you guys want to drop down in the comments, I would love to read them and love to hear whatever you guys have to say about this podcast. And I appreciate all the support that I've already received. Like I said, this is a family. This is a place to come to enhance our ability to be a movement for God's kingdom, and that's all I want this to be. So, guys, go listen to those if you haven't yet, and then get back on track with us here in Psalm chapter 3. Before we hop into it, I want to give us a little background. So, David is writing this in a time where his son Absalom has won the hearts of his people of Israel and kind of assembled a coup to kind of go after David. So David is forced to flee Jerusalem. His own allies have turned against him. His own son has turned against him. His enemies are now more against him. He has been emotionally hurt and emotionally wounded. He is just in a very, very dark spot. But we see a turning point in chapter 3 of David's mentality and how David is able to wake up every single morning and keep moving forward. And that's what I want the focus here to be. So let's hop into verses 1 through 8 of Psalm chapter 3. Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will not deliver him. But you, O Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. I call out to the Lord, and he answers me from his holy mountain. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear, though tens of thousands assail me on every side. Arise, O Lord, deliver me, my God. Strike all of my enemies on the jaw, break the teeth of the wicked. From the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessings be on your people. Guys, point 1, we will be doubted. We will be doubted. If you look in verse 1, it says, Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise against me? David is pleading to God. What is happening? Everyone is all of a sudden now against me, even my own son. Even my own son. And they're saying God will not deliver him. They're bringing up David's past and why everything he did, they're trying to make it seem like he is a failure. He is not worth anything. He means nothing to God. He means nothing to anyone. The people closest to him, his own son, he is pleading to God, what is happening? And the reason this is written out, and well, there's multiple, but the reason I'm focused on to say is I just want you guys to know this is a real thing. And this happens to us. Like, there are so many times where, and I know that people listening, we've been in a spot where we just feel like the world is falling apart, right? Our faith is feeling weak. We're being questioned by our peers. We're being questioned by our own self, our own thoughts. And we don't know what's happening. We're like, God, what is happening? Why do I feel so worthless and doubted, right? And the Bible even shows here in other scriptures, in Job chapter 9, Job's own wife looks at him and says, curse God and die. We look back at Jesus on the cross in Matthew 27. They're doubting Jesus, saying, if he trusted in God, let God come and rescue him. They're doubting and mocking him. The most perfect person to ever walk the planet was being doubted. So of course it's going to happen to us because we're imperfect. We do things wrong every single day. But we have to hold fast, we have to hold true to our relationship and our faith in Jesus Christ. And understand Jesus Christ is always present no matter what is happening in our life, no matter the circumstances, right? So that's what I just want to understand in verses 1. We will be doubted. It's a true and real thing, a biblical thing. It's happening with David right here, right now. One of the biggest people in the Bible, all right? But as we keep reading in verses 3, we see a turning point in how David speaks in the rest of this chapter. It says, but you, Lord, are my shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. But you, O Lord, are a shield around me. Focus on that right there. Notice how it doesn't say a shield in front or a shield behind. No, it says the Lord is a shield around me. Why? Because God is omnipresent. He is everywhere at every single time, no matter what. He knows the devil is going to come at you in multiple angles, so Jesus covers multiple angles. That's why he's around us. He can't just be in front because then it leaves the back open. Jesus never leaves his people's back. He can't leave the front because then we don't know where we're going and the devil's going to get us right in front of us, and the Lord will never let that happen, right? The Lord is protecting us in all angles of our life, and he is never, never, never not present, no matter how many people we feel are against us, right? And then it says, this is like, when I read this and I soaked it in, this just like blew my mind, and it made me want to act as David did. He says, you are my glory. David right now just looked at God and said, you are my glory, when his own son has turned against him, his own people have turned against him, his enemies are now double against him. He is in the worst position possible. He's got no money. He's got no kingdom, nothing. But he looks at God and he says, you are my glory. David is now letting Jesus know it is not about my possession. It is not about my circumstances. It is not about what I think is best. It is about you. You are my glory. You are the reason I can get up and walk every single day. You are the reason I feel loved. You are what satisfies and fulfills me. It is nothing of this world that will do that for me. That is what David is doing right now in the worst position he has probably ever been in. So what does that say for us? Right, that's an encouragement to us. We are seeing an actual person who lived a real life telling his story. That's an encouragement to us, and we should be able to look at that as a perfect blueprint and a perfect example for us. When things are going hard, we look at God and say, no, you are my glory, and I'm going to have a smile on my face and be joyful because you are present in my life all around me. And when I realized that, the rest of the week for me was just completely different, completely different. So I want you guys to really get that when you're reading this with me. And then it goes on to say, you are the lifter of my head. When it says lifter of my head, when I read that, it just makes me understand Jesus makes my posture correct. Jesus doesn't want me walking my days with my head down and my eyes droopy. No, he lifts my head up and he allows me to walk in confidence and walk in joy and walk in happiness and walk in fulfillment, right? That's what Jesus does for us. Our posture changes. The way we talk changes. The way we treat people changes because Jesus Christ changes everything about everything. That's something we say at the church that I attend at 1122. And if we look at more scriptures in Genesis 15:1, God tells Abraham, I am your shield, your very great reward. Isaiah 61, God gives a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning. Luke chapter 15, verse 20, the father runs to the prodigal son, lifts his head and restores him. That's the God that we serve. That's the God that is present in our lives. He is a renewer. He is a redeemer. Let's keep moving to verses 4 through 6. 4 through 6, it says, I call to the Lord, and he answers me from his holy mountain. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear, though tens of thousands assail me on every side. I lay down and slept. David just said, I laid down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. David's being chased in the wilderness right now, and he just said he lied down and slept. Is that not crazy to anybody else? You think it's crazy until you understand, he did that because his soul is anchored in God, and when your soul is anchored in God, you become more like God. It means your enemies cannot shake in you. If we look at Mark chapter 4, Jesus is sleeping on the boat in the storm, right? And then he calms the storm, and the people had a lack of trust in that, and were shaking Jesus up, and Jesus is like, guys, I'm the peacemaker. Have faith in that. When our soul is anchored in God, we are able to sleep and rest and have peace in the craziest circumstances we've ever gone through, because that is what Jesus brings to the table. He brings a peace we cannot explain. If we go on, it says, I will not be afraid of many thousands of people who set themselves against me all around. Thousands of people. Like David is saying, thousands of people, bro. That's so encouraging to me. Thousands of people. I walk in my life, I got 4 people that might be against me, and it's stressing me out. David's sitting here, got thousands of people, and he was able to sleep. So why can't I? I got the same God that lives inside of David is the same God that lives inside of me, and I have to be able to remember that and walk in that every single day. And that's what's going to allow me to have that good posture, rooting and anchoring myself in the Lord. Verses 7 through 8, let's close this out. Arise, Lord, deliver me, my God. Strike all my enemies on the jaw, break the teeth of the wicked. From the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessing be on your people. Guys, God will take care of our enemies. We cannot take care of our enemies ourselves because we are not strong enough. We do not have the correct mentality. Vengeance is for God, not for people. All right, and then to close us out, from the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessing be on your people. Here's the point. No matter what you're going through, it's not about what you strategize. It's not about your own strength. It is about God. God will deliver you. God will renew you. God will redeem. Because he is all-powerful. He is all-knowing, and he paves all ways. And he is the shield that is around us. So here's the question. Here's the question for Psalm chapter 3. Are you anchored in Jesus? Are you anchored in Jesus? Are you too worried about everything around you, and you're basing your life off your circumstances rather than basing your life on the death of the cross that has already taken place and has already paid for you to live life freely and abundantly because God is good? That's the question. Where are you anchored? What are you letting run your life, guys? I hope Psalm chapter 3 spoke to you guys. I hope that you guys are staying in prayer in this week. I'm praying for you guys. I love you guys like crazy. I cannot wait to come back and talk to you guys on episode 4, Psalm chapter 4. Narrow Mic family, peace out.